Here's your wrestling news for May 13th, 2023, and we're kicking off today with SmackDown as this week's show saw the return of Roman Reigns, and the undisputed WWE Universal Champion was in a foul mood. On the show, Reigns lambasted the USOS, not just for losing the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles at WrestleMania, but losing their subsequent rematch, a match they had dedicated to Reigns himself. Reigns made it clear that he felt disrespected and pushed for the Usos to apologize, and at one point got physical with Jimmy Uso, who continued to laugh as Reigns grew angrier. Jimmy seemed poised to fight back. Jay stepped in and apologized for them both, and asked for another title shot to redeem themselves. Paul Heyman then confirmed that there will be another tag title opportunity, but it won't be for the Usos, as instead Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will challenge for the titles at Night of Champions. Reigns dedicated this upcoming title match to the Wild Samoans, and while making his way to the back, once again stared at the World Heavyweight Championship, which was on the stage. WWE is seriously teasing Reigns, adding more gold to his collection, and the fact that he has dedicated his match to the Wild Samoans will no doubt be a major crux if he and Sikoa lose. Reigns and Sikoa have been WWE's two most dominantly booked superstars, losing less than a handful of matches each on WWE's main roster, so it's hard not to consider them favorites. With that said, the unease in the Bloodline will likely play a factor in the match in Jeddah, and do you think WWE will give Reigns the undisputed tag titles? And what about the World Heavyweight Championship? Sound off in the comments. Night of Champions won't just see Reigns and Sikoa challenge for the titles, but it'll also be Sami Zayn's first time competing on one of WWE's premium live events in Saudi Arabia. Zayn has been kept off of all shows in Saudi Arabia due to his Syrian heritage, so why exactly is Night of Champions proving to be an exception? Well, as CNN reports, Saudi Arabia and Syria have resumed diplomatic missions to work together, and the two countries, at least for now, are on better standing than they've been in years. On social media, fans reacted to the news, with some saying it simply did not sound right for Sami to travel to Saudi Arabia, and one fan said it'd be extremely unsafe for him to go. Fans also questioned as to whether Reigns will defend his undisputed WWE Universal title at Night of Champions, but that seems unlikely at this point in time. Whether Sami's debut in Saudi Arabia is successful, only time will tell, but with the Bloodline continuing to show cracks, he and Owens are hoping to make their time in Jeddah a successful one. The Bloodline wasn't the only faction with problems on SmackDown this week, as the show also saw tensions grow within Damage Control. During SmackDown, Bayley and Dakota Kai again challenged Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, and would likely be champions right now if Io Sky's interference hadn't failed. Even prior to the match, the tension was there, with Bayley saying backstage that she clearly pushed Sky into a Raw Women's title match with Bianca Belair too soon, and Sky's face made it clear she wasn't pleased with what she was hearing. Judging by this week's SmackDown, it seems certain that Sky will be turning face on Bayley soon, and that'll leave Dakota Kai in the middle and forced to pick a side. As to which side the Kiwi wrestler will pick, that remains to be seen, but after this week's SmackDown, the implosion of Damage Control isn't a question of if, but when. Last November, Robert Roode underwent neck fusion surgery, and at the time it was believed that the operation would keep him out of action for at least a year. The last time fans saw Roode in the ring, he was facing Omos at a WWE live event in June 2022, but now the former NXT champion has faced yet another obstacle in his career. On Instagram, Roode revealed that he has to undergo a second neck fusion surgery, and that his C4 and 5 vertebrae have now been fused together. Roode's operation took place at Andrews Sports Medical Center in Alabama, where WWE superstars including Triple H, Cody Rhodes, and John Cena have all gone under the knife. With this second surgery, Roode's future in the ring continues to look more and more uncertain, and we are wishing the Glorious One the very best in his recovery. Over to AEW Collision, and for many fans, the allure of the show will be CM Punk, who, if the reports are accurate, will be the biggest star on the rumored show. Punk will be kept on Collision and far away from the Elite due to personal issues between the two sides, but he may soon come face to face with someone else he has issues with. During his September 2022 diatribe, Punk hit out at his former best friend Colt Cabana, mockingly saying Colt shares a bank account with his mother, and that could lead to some awkward scenes backstage. As pointed out in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW's plan is for Ring of Honor tapings to be filmed after Collision, meaning Punk and Cabana could soon be seeing a lot more of each other. While Cabana is eligible to compete for Ring of Honor, the bulk of his work has been behind the scenes as a producer, meaning it's likely that him and Punk would bump into each other at tapings. CM Punk and Colt Cabana were at one point closer than brothers until the WWE lawsuit, and the lawsuit between the two drove them apart, and hopefully Punk can keep his cool when he sees Cabana soon. It wasn't just Punk's media scrum comments that led to his suspension, as the backstage fight led to Punk, The Elite, and others being pulled from TV in a controversy that overshadowed every match from All Out. Since then, we've had months and months of reports about what really happened and how those in AEW feel about things, and now one person is ready to apologize. That's according to Dave Meltzer. In the Observer, it is noted that one person is ready to say sorry and move on, though we don't know exactly who. What we do know for a fact, though, is that this apologetic person is not CM Punk, and that despite Punk's expected return, there are a number of different legal issues still ongoing. Someone on the Elite side of things also believes that while apologies are in order, it should be Punk who should apologize first for what he did, but he should not be the only one who says sorry. Tony Khan has refused to give any comments about the situation between Punk and the Elite, much to the frustration of fans, but there's at least one person in this messy situation who's ready to admit to being at fault. But what do you think about all this? Are apologies in order, and should Punk be the first one to say sorry? Sound off in the comments below. More from SmackDown next, as the show saw the continuation of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament, and advancing was far from easy for Bobby Lashley. In his triple threat match with Austin Theory and Sheamus, Lashley was whipped into steel steps, and moments later could be seen holding his head, which had blood gushing out. WWE's cameras blacked out on a few occasions due to the blood, and despite the injury, Lashley was allowed to continue the match, which he'd go on to win. In the semifinals, Lashley would lose to AJ Styles, who defeated Edge and Rey Mysterio earlier in the night, and the Phenomenal One will go on to Night of Champions to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Lashley certainly proved his toughness on this week's SmackDown, even if it was ultimately all in vain. And is Styles vs. Rollins the right match for the finals? Or would you like to have seen someone else compete for the new title in Jeddah? And we're ending with even more from SmackDown, as Cameron Grimes made his in-ring debut on the Blue brand and wasted no time in making an impact. In just 6 seconds, Grimes got the victory over Baron Corbin, who, in the ultimate sign of a jobber, was already in the ring when he was announced, and his entrance entirely skipped. This is the latest setback for Corbin, who only broke a lengthy losing streak during a live event in France the other week, and it's clear that WWE is not pushing him anytime soon. There was a time when fans expected Corbin to be a world champion, but those days are long gone. And what do you expect is next for the Lone Wolf in WWE?
Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.